This is expediTIously. I am Tip T.I. Harris. Now, the following experience is not a test. The conversations and stories expressed on this podcast are meant to be an expression of purpose and truth. This show, properly entitled expediTIously, is a free exchange of ideas and opinions. No judgment, no preconceived beliefs, no fear. You're encouraged to share your thoughts and ask any question as long as it's done with respect. And that's through true love and respect for others that we will change the world and speak truth to power, one show at a time. Now, without further ado, this is expediTIously. I'm Tip T.I. Harris. Hey, what's happening, man? Welcome to expediTIously. I'm your host, Tip Harris. We have a very special guest, man. Today, our guest is a friend of mine, a partner, a close partner of mine, and a fellow Atlantan, a fellow West Side native, and also just so happens to be the 61st mayor of Atlanta. His name is Mr. Andre Dickens, all right? Mayor Andre Dickens was born and raised in the city's southwest side. He's a graduate of Georgia Tech, where he earned a degree in chemical engineering and later earned a master's in public administration from Georgia State University. Before becoming mayor, he was a tech sector entrepreneur and then spent 8 years on the Atlanta City Council, championing issues like public safety, affordable housing, and workforce development. He's on the board of directors of TechBridge, a technology-based nonprofit, as well as a deacon at New Horizon Baptist Church. I didn't know that. Since taking office in 2022, Mayor Dickens has pursued an ambitious vision to make Atlanta a global city of opportunity, driving major investments in affordable housing, expanding city infrastructure, launching bold initiatives to reduce crime. He is focused on programs for long-term residents, as well as newcomers who are attracted to Atlanta's creative and tech industries who need to go home. We full. Under his leadership, the city's achieved its highest ever AAA bond rating, a first in Atlanta's history. Congratulations on that. And I want to welcome Mayor Andre Dickens. What's happening, man?
What's up, Tip? Good to see you, man.
Man, good to see you too, man.
Glad to be on here, bro. I seen you doing your big things, man. I love expediTIously.
Man, thank you. Thank you. And hey, man, listen, the city of Atlanta, man, really appreciates you because you are a product of our community. You know what I mean? Fellow West Side native, you know what I'm saying? Grew up Kaya Heights.
Yeah.
Anybody who's been in Atlanta know what Kaya Heights is. That's real West Side. So you did you go to Kaya Heights Elementary?
No. So I'm in Kaya Heights now, but I grew up in Adamsville, the neighborhood right next to Kaya Heights. So, I grew up and I went to Miles Elementary, and some friends of mine went to Kaya Heights.
Okay.
But I live in Kaya Heights now, and I love it. Still a West Side, man.
Right on. I went to Doug High. He went to Mays. We are arch nemesis rivals by way of high school alum. But I respect the fact that you come from, you have been produced by Atlanta Public School System.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've taken your education so far and done the most with it. When did you first know you wanted to be mayor?
Yeah, man. I've been wanting to be mayor since I was 16 years old at Mays High School. So, Mays and Doug got that rivalry. I believe that it just made us stronger and better. Keisha came from competitors. Keisha Lance Bottoms, my predecessor, she went to Doug, and here I am, Mays. So we worked well together. The two schools made each other better. But I wanted to be mayor since I was 16, and Ambassador Andrew Young was the mayor when I was 16 years old. And I was so enamored by him and just, like in awe of this man, because I was learning him being with Dr. Martin Luther King as a civil rights leader. And then next thing I know, he the mayor of the city. And so we learned about him in our books, and then I get to see him on TV, and I think I shook his hand at some school function, and I was like, I want to be him. I want to be just like him, serving my city. And nobody in my family had ever been in politics. Then nobody, was no, city council person. Wasn't nobody working for city government. So God just touched my heart and was like, that's your role model. That's who you're going to be. And you're going to love on the people of Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was like the most awesome place. And I had never went nowhere before, though. I hadn't been to no New York.
So you had nothing to compare it to.
I ain't had nothing to compare it to. I was just like, the A going to be better than everything else.
Hey, man. And that's spoken like a true Atlantan.
Yeah.
So when you decided that you wanted to be mayor, did you already kind of strategically plan your steps as far as what schools you went to and what you majored in? Was that a part of the plan that early as well?
Nah, man, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't have no roadmap. So when I told the guidance counselor at Mays, I was like, I think I want to be the mayor, and she was like, well, they ain't got but one of them at a time, and you don't get that job every 4 years, and a whole bunch of other people lose. So what you gonna do if you ain't the mayor until then? So she was like, "You're pretty good at math and science. Why don't you become an engineer?" And I didn't know what that was. Nobody in my family had ever gone to college. Nobody was in no engineering and no math and nothing like that. So
you first generation graduate,
college graduate, college attendant. So my mama, my sister, none of my grandparents, none of them went to college. They all, are great people, but they never went to college. And so when I went to Georgia Tech to get chemical engineering, that was the first in my family. And I graduated. That was a blessing for my family. But none of that was on the road to, if somebody was to draw a map towards how to get the mayor, that ain't what you would do. You wouldn't go beat your head against the wall to learn thermodynamics and all that foolishness.
But now, did you ever use your chemical engineering degree for something? What did you use it for?
Yeah, so to get through college, I did what they call co-op. So I worked a semester and then I went to school a semester. Worked a semester, went to school a semester. So I did that for 5.5 years to get myself through college. Okay. And so I was working in chemical plants. I would be in Augusta, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. And it was how I made money, but also learned a skill. So I was prepared. When I got out of college, I worked in manufacturing and worked in chemical products and sales of chemical products. But I was also, after work, I was helping kids at the YMCA. I was teaching 12 and under basketball. Okay. I was serving.
You hoop too?
Yeah, I hoop. Yeah, I know how to hoop. I ain't go to no college for hooping, so I ain't that good. But
you went to Tech. So
I went to Tech. Yeah.
We would have heard about you hooping if you was, you know what I mean. But still though, but you go and you pass down, whatever skills and whatever knowledge you have to the next generation, and I think that's commendable of you.
Yeah. So I was learning. So how I kind of was saying, all right, I'm doing engineering, but I still want to do this. Be ready for service as a mayor one day. When I was at Tech, I was on SGA, student government. I was the president of the African American Student Union. By then, Bill Campbell was mayor, and I was helpful with him as he was trying to get us to do something other than Freaknik. So he was talking to all the college presidents and student folks.
So you was a part of the thing that took Freaknik away?
I was trying to tell Bill how to do this.
Okay. So if you were the mayor back then, what would you have done to improve, the experience of Freaknik?
Yeah, man. It got out of hand when you had all them grown men coming down, bringing strippers in the middle of the street. Now, that might have been fun for some folks, but I could see as a mayor how difficult that was to manage. When it was a student event, it's very manageable.
Even as an adult, though, you know what I'm saying? Because I just remember how bad traffic was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just having somewhere to go as an adult and having to sit in that for hours, it seems a bit tumultuous.
It was tumultuous. And if you sit down with Bill Campbell today about conversation 4 or 5, it's still on his heart that people be like, you the mayor that, you shut down Freaknik. And he was like, it was a catch-22. And mayors, bear the brunt of all the complaints of society. Business folks, you think about it, all we think about is our business people complaining about kids, running around in the yard or whatever. But if you work at one of them hotels and you got to get on a MARTA bus, that MARTA bus is stuck in traffic. Yeah. That MARTA bus can't get you home to go pick up your kids from daycare. So you running up a tab at the daycare, all because people partying in the streets. If you got a medical emergency, that fire truck is stuck in 4 lanes of traffic trying to get to you in an ambulance or a fire truck. So it really wasn't just Bill Campbell or anybody having to make a decision around, we don't want these kids to have a party. It really was around the city is a complete gridlock. And so you can't get workers on day shift to get out and get night shift to go in. And you can't get people through the city to go to, very, necessary services.
So it was just a matter of practicality.
Yeah, a matter of practicality.
I think, and that, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Anybody who thinking about something other than just a good time for themselves should be able to understand that. Yeah. As a person in a position of leadership, especially in politics, something that we don't see enough is a genuine level of empathy. And you seem to have that, and it shows. Yeah. What do you think that developed in you?
Man, growing up in my neighborhood, it was like 30, 40 boys all around the same age. We're playing football, basketball, baseball. We're trying to get in any kind of mischief we can. I was on the west side of them woods. We
going in there.
Yeah, we going in the woods. We doing all kinds of, stuff to just keep ourselves busy after school and throughout the week and on the weekend. So you learn the good, the bad, the ugly. Some days you the big man, some days they punching you in the chest and you gotta be humbled, right? And so I learned how to value everybody in the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. He the man that go do that, and he the man that go do that. And so sometimes I need a little of this, sometimes I need a little of that. Mm-hmm. And so, it was always, somebody, mama crying to somebody else, mama, we ain't got enough money. We pitch in a little bit, help people pay their mortgage, pay their rent, pay whatever they had to do. My mama might be driving your kids to the game, to the after school function. Your mama might be driving me. Just, man, a community. Community was so necessary when, a lot of people didn't have enough money to meet the month, Right. It's more, you got more month than money. We all got to figure out
more month than money.
Yeah, you got more month than money. We used 31 days. I used to have 31 days worth of money, man. This inflation and tariffs and everything else, folks sitting on about 25 days worth of money. So how we make up that difference is community. So I got this empathy for folks, man, for people trying to survive and people trying to thrive. And, you got a lot of good vibes when folks show up for you. So you got to return the favor.
Man, that empathy has led to some very successful initiatives. In your first term, housing affordability was one of your biggest concerns. You were a big supporter of my affordable housing project. I thank you for that in Trotter. How do you think we did as a city in tackling affordability in the city of Atlanta? And what are some of your plans moving forward?
Yeah, man, I love affordable housing. I like to develop mixed income communities. I believe that the principal, the teacher, and the bus driver should be able to live in the community and be able to, their kids go to the same schools, go to the same grocery stores, libraries. Segregation happened according to race, but now segregation is happening according to income. I believe that we should build communities that everybody can thrive in, where, it ain't just the wealthy kids get to go to the good schools and the poor kids go to the dangerous schools and live in a dangerous environment. Let's build up communities where everybody can thrive. And I'm proud of y'all because you and your team have developed affordable housing and you've done it the right way. You asked the city, you supported initiatives in the community. The community loves the developments that you've done. You provided an opportunity for folks. I always say Atlanta is a group project. If you just call City Hall and try to put an S on the chest of the mayor, you're going to be disappointed that I am not Superman and whoever takes this role after me will not be Superman or Superwoman. But if they can get folks like you and get the business community, the nonprofits, the school teachers, the deacons and the clergy all working together to solve these problems, then we will do just that. And that's what we've been doing. So I set a goal of 20,000 units of affordable housing by 2030. And we're at the halfway point right now. We already got 12,000 units built or under construction. You guys did 171, if I'm not mistaken, something like that?
Yeah.
It was some number like that.
Somewhere between 158, 171.
Yeah, I remember the number, but y'all, I remember breaking ground on it and then cutting the ribbon on it. Yeah. And, we're doing a good job on that. Atlanta is becoming a victim of our own success, though. And what that means is we're growing so fast. We're becoming very attractive. Everybody's been coming here. And what's happening is we're lacking balanced growth.
Till they get here and try and have to sit in that traffic.
They got to sit in that traffic because we're growing so fast. It's like, where you going to go? Yeah. Everybody trying to get come in here, start a business, start a nonprofit, get to work, then come to the after party. Then they just moving around. Right. And we are a place that's very inviting. But man, we got to build housing for these legacy residents, these grandmamas, these young folks, these community members that need to be able to live here. These folks that work here, they work hard. Right. They need housing. I don't need them driving an hour and a half just to get to work. I need them to be right here and enjoy Atlanta.
Yeah, that's real. We always hear about gentrification. How do you find it that you're able to balance preserving the city soul while pushing economic growth?
Yeah, Atlanta is so attractive. Everybody wants it. And so gentrification is a process of somebody from, somewhere else coming into the city because they see an opportunity.
Sure.
And they got enough money and enough guts and gusto to just come in and buy something. And so you can't stop a purchase per se. People buy empty land, or people buy a dilapidated apartment, or buy a abandoned house. They buy it, fix it up, and come in. You actually want that. You don't want the abandoned house. But what we want is the community members to not be displaced when these folks come in and put up a $1 million house or $800,000 house next to grandmama's house that she bought when it was $60,000 or $100,000. And she's just trying to hold on to her house. So what we're doing is we're helping grandmama fix her roof, get her a new HVAC unit and all that stuff so she can stay in place, because she most likely don't have $40,000 to replace the roof and do all that stuff. So we're doing that for free. We've done like 800 of them, new roofs and new all that stuff, so that the guy don't come in there with the slick talk like, hey, I'll give you $200,000 for this house. And you're like, oh, I ain't never seen that before. Grandma get that $200,000. Where's she gonna go? There ain't no $200,000 house. She's gonna go and she's gonna end up living in assisted living in Riverdale or somewhere else, and no longer near her church folks, no longer near her community. And that money gonna run out. And especially for her nephew, he got a few things he need to do with that money. He want a Hellcat. and he got and the niece.
Man, the nephew take grandma money to get a haircut, bro. Man, we need to have a little talking to, man. We need a firm talking to, man.
And the niece, she want a Nissan Awesome. And she needs some brakes on that thing.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, that 200 looking like 150.
But for you to care enough to even, to think about these things, that's to me, that's what makes you a solid mayor and a solid leader. Now, okay, I'm just gonna ask. It's a difficult question. I know it's a difficult question because it's a difficult question for me. Being born and raised in Atlanta, knowing what we call the old Atlanta. Tell me, how has Atlanta changed in your eyes?
Man, you're right. Me and you from the old Atlanta. It's changed a lot. It's changed in ways that are good, and it's changed in some ways that are troubling. We used to be this big city with a small town feel.
Right.
We could, really understand each other, see each other, get along with each other. We didn't have as much traffic.
Right.
We didn't have as much hoopla about, some of the, things that you see as communities are struggling to understand their identity as new people move into that community.
And it wasn't as much out of town business. It wasn't as much stuff from out of town making its way here.
People from out of town. So now I remember the first part of this was when the Miami boys came in and tried to take over a certain scene. And then you had Down by Law, and you had other folks that that's right. They had to send them back to Miami because we were allowing them to have space here because we so hospitable. But the cost of the price of entry needs to be respect. So Atlanta has got these open arms, but we need to make people pay a price, which is called respect. Gip and Goody Mob say you got to wipe your feet on the rug before you enter my house. And what happened over time was we were so hospitable, people weren't wiping their feet on the rug. They started wiping their feet on the rug. They started wiping their feet on our carpet and stepping all over us and taking advantage of things. And so, we dealt with it in one way in the past. Now you can't deal with it in those ways, and you probably shouldn't have then. But the way we're going now is how to be hospitable but still protect our own. The legacy resident still has something to say, still has some value to add, and they need to be taken care of. And so for us, it's about supporting local businesses, supporting local initiatives, and making sure that the new entrant understands that they're coming on top of legacy. What happens all too often, the new entrant comes into Atlanta and they want to tell us to be like the place they just came from. And then we be like, well, why don't you go back? If it was so great,
how'd you get here?
You came here for a reason. If you don't like where I stayed, fly away. Right? That's what
hey, man, I love you quote Goody Mob.
Yeah, Goody Mob, man. I'm telling you, man. He don't say that. So if what happened is somebody be like, oh man, y'all don't do it like we did it. Y'all don't do it like we did. And after a while, Atlanta kind of listened to that for a few songs and notes, and then after a while, I'd be like, you need to get up out of here, man. 'Cause we kind of getting tired of that.
Yeah.
And so, we still, everybody forget that we still got we were that small southern city that was punching above our weight and everything. We got the Olympics. Yeah. Only LA and New York. I mean, like we talking about Atlanta. Got the world's busiest airport, got all these HBCUs, got all these big businesses, and we still ain't on the map in certain things. So when people come down here, they try to treat us like hillbillies or like we slow. And then, somebody has to remind them.
Yeah, rude awakenings happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you another tough question. It's tough on me too. What we going to do about these damn Falcons, man? Is it anything, can you make a call to Mr. Blank and see what we gonna do about these damn Falcons, man?
Man,
we got this big, nice, pretty dome. I'm talking about
it's pretty.
It's nice.
It's the best one.
The best thing is, and why in the hell can they not damn score a touchdown in the red zone? What the hell is going on?
It's football. They should be able to score some touchdowns. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm disappointed. It's hard to say, in my position.
It's a tough season.
It's a tough season. I'm friends with everybody, too.
Yeah.
I'm friends. I love Arthur Blank.
Yeah,
he's a great Rich
person.
McKay, Raheem Partner.
Right.
I like these guys, man.
Yeah.
But when that football game on, man, every last one of them, I've been here longer than them. So I'm arguing at the TV. I'm like, man,
what the hell going on?
And we got all this talent,
and we spend so much money.
We got the best player, Bijan Robinson, running that ball, doing all this stuff, man. Yeah. I'm like, now we've had Michael Vick,
it's a lack of talent.
Bijan. It's not because of lack of talent. Matt Ryan, we had Deion Sanders. We can name the who's who of best players. We just got to get them to score touchdowns.
Not a damn ring.
Yeah, we got. And I was in that stadium in Houston.
Me too.
I know, I was down there with you when you and the former mayor was planning the parade.
Yeah. We were damn sure planning the parade. Yeah. We were damn sure planning the parade, man.
I got wise to where y'all was. Y'all was in the club level. I was in the top of the top. I was so high in that stadium. I don't even know why Houston got 6 levels to their stadium. Yeah. I'm like, why they got the city council member up there in the 6th level? Man. I could touch the back of the stadium. We were going crazy, man. We was going off, and then them Patriots started coming back, man. And I was disappointed. But we ain't gonna do that now.
Of all of the Atlanta teams, which one do you feel like you have the closest connection to? The Braves,
Falcons,
the Hawks, the Falcons, the United.
The United, yeah. First team I ever cried over was that's where I'm gonna say my passion came, was watching the Falcons back in the 80s. I was
that's trauma, man.
It's trauma.
That is trauma.
I remember like we were on our way to the playoffs or something, man, and San Francisco beat us, and I was crying. I was man. But I love the Hawks too as an organization because Dominique Wilkins, when we got him, that was like a good guy, a homeboy or whatever. But I remember when Deion came onto the Falcons, man, and he came with that Jerry curl and them gold chains. That must be the money. High stepping. We was like, boy, this about to be showtime. So I love all our teams, man. Now the other thing I'm gonna say, and I'm not just saying this gratuitously, is the Atlanta Dream. Because it came about since I've been an adult, and it's a women's league, and the passion, the fandom around the Atlanta Dream. When you go to a Dream game,
I've never been.
You got to go to a Dream game. You'll feel like every last one of those young ladies that's out there playing basketball, you feel like every last one of them are your little sister. You cheer for them, you pumping them up, and they can see you. It's the size of the venue is just right, and
where they play at?
What they play at the College Park Arena, and then sometimes they play at down at State Farm. Okay. And so we cheer for them.
Yeah. Well, we might have to make it to a Dream game. Yeah. As a mayor, you have a different vibe about you. You have a different aura. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that you walk with a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
As a mayor, knowing like how do you know what suit to wear, when to wear a suit, when to put a tie on, when not to put a tie on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you wear sneakers?
Yeah. I wear sneakers sometimes. I wear sneakers sometimes. Okay. So my mayoral collection is done by Hideaki.
Okay,
just because they're Dietrich. I know you and I both.
We have similar taste in clothes.
That's right.
We share the same haberdashery.
That's right. Haberdashery brothers.
Hideaki Bespoke. That is where we are right now, and we both have a plethora of ensembles.
Yeah, we get fresh and different up in here.
So, but what make you? You know what I'm saying? Pick your suit side. I guess. Not conservatively, but still have style. You know what I'm saying? How do you make that decision?
Yeah, so every season we get together, ahead of time, and we start talking about what's all going to happen in the next season, whether it's balls and galas, whether it's big speeches like inaugurations or State of the City. And we think about those things and we lay out palettes. We got the Senior Citizens Ball. That's a different look than the Mayor's Ball. And I'm in photos every single day. I'm on TV every day. I'm in a newspaper every day. And there's selfies everywhere I go. It's almost like I'm T.I. It's almost like I'm Tip. But people walk up to me and they want a photo. And so you
got to take the photo.
You got to take the photo.
I say no.
You say no?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I say nah, man. Not right now.
You went to Doug. That's what y'all do over there? Amazed. We amazed, man. We courteous at Maze.
I be like, hey, man, I say what's up, how you doing, man? But not right now, man. Not right now.
But see,
So what happened is after you take that first photo, then it's going to be another one, then another one.
It is now, it is impossible to go from where I'm trying to go to the next stop. Because once you take one photo, then they bring their friend. Well, we got to take it together. Or then that's me and my wife. And then now's my business partner.
Somebody comes and say, I don't know who you is, but they took one.
That's what they be saying. And they call me everything. You the news anchor. You the school boy.
It's not the news anchor.
You're Fred Blankenship. I'll tell you, I get it all. But man, so with that, you taking pictures every day. And you can be on social media in the same suit if you don't switch it up. People be like, oh, man, that's Dre in that blue suit. He ain't Mayor falling off. He ain't got nothing. All he got is that same old raggedy suit. I seen him on CNN in that suit. I seen him in the Mayor's Ball in that suit. State of the City in that suit. So you got to switch it up. But also, it's this is a fashionable city.
It is.
This city has a culture, it has a vibe. The mayor has to reflect the movement.
That shit on.
Yeah, you can't have a mayor that don't look and feel like the vibe of the city. Then he's just a position holder and just a servant only, and not somebody that's within the thread.
A product of the city.
Yeah, you got to be a product, man. Yeah. You got to be a part of the fiber and the fabric of the city. So I got to look the part. All these musicians, entertainers, celebrities, all these business people. And then, the way you look, people are like surprised that, okay, the mayor stays fit. How do you go to all these receptions and not get fat?
So you work out. You got a workout regimen.
I got to work out 4 days a week.
Okay.
Early in the morning. 1 hour.
So you get up. So what time? So what's the day like? For Mayor Dickens?
Every single day. I'm at my gym, a black-owned gym, black trainer. We get a workout in for an hour and 15 minutes. Back in the car, go shower, get dressed. And I go through the whole day, 10, 11 meetings, events. Yeah, I go to City Hall, or I go to a business meeting, or I go to a development to check on it, or I go to a news interview. I go to wherever I'm going to go all day. And then at nighttime, it switches to receptions and community events and, nighttime speeches. That might be your, your Big Brothers, Big Sisters gala, your YMCA stuff. I got to go to midnight basketball. Then everybody here, wait a
minute, midnight basketball.
Yeah.
So you going to midnight basketball and still getting up?
Yes. Midnight basketball goes from 7 p.m. to midnight. Check a few emails, send a few messages, might turn on some music, and then I shower, go to sleep, do it all over again.
Speaking of back at the house, I'm sure people kind of noticed it. You seem to be single and one of the most eligible bachelors in the city.
Oh, Lord.
How do you carry that position? So effortlessly.
Oh, man. You jumped into that one expeditiously.
Man, because you seem to be... All right, so I'm going to speak freely.
Yeah.
You just seem to carry yourself like a player.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
And I say, look, man, when I say player, I mean, that's a player is not necessarily somebody who have a lot of women, but somebody who carry themselves with a certain level of respect and just a certain swag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was married for 18 years.
Oh, you have been married?
I have been married. I was married from, when I was like 27 all the way to, when I was in my 40s, like 45, 46 years old. So I was married for 18 years. We have a beautiful daughter. She's 20. And since that time, I've been a bachelor. So I've been out here just, I've been out here just trying to run the city. I've been out here trying to be a good man.
Run the city then, man.
Run the city. Doing my job.
Run the city till it's time to lay it down. You hear me? Run the city, man. Do your thing.
Hey, man, I'm married to the city now, man. I have this big job.
I live vicariously through you, man. You hear me? So the mayor's ball coming up.
Yeah.
You got your outfit picked out already?
Oh, man. Look,
you know what you gonna wear?
These folks here have taken good care of me, man. They got me fitted just right.
Yeah.
So, I got my right tux out. I got it all picked. And, I change up. So I go to the mayor's ball in one suit, and then I change it up in the after party for another. I put on a different little blazer, man, just so, the pictures just,
I told you
just day night,
I told you he was a player. He spoke like a real player, man. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to hit him with them one over here. You know what I mean? I know a player when I see one. With being from Atlanta, knowing how much Atlanta is dependent upon its nightlife.
Yeah.
You recognize a disconnect, and you put together a nightlife division.
Yeah.
How has that worked? What does the nightlife division, that sector do? And how has it improved the city's interaction with the nightlife business owners?
Yeah, Atlanta, man, is so many events, festivals, parties, restaurants, bars. Atlanta has to have a thriving nightlife scene. We gotta have entertainment. We built on it.
Right.
People come here to party every Friday night. You see all them lights coming into the city they coming from Greenville, they coming from Nashville, they coming from Chattanooga, they coming from the South Side. Everybody's trying to get to the city of Atlanta throughout the whole weekend and even throughout the week. And so we really have a great nightlife scene. One of the things I wanted to do was enhance it by supporting them. And, everybody don't know how to do nightlife. Just because you got a building and you can fry some chicken or you got a DJ, don't mean that you got, the qualities that it take to make sure that it's safe, to make sure there's a good community partner when it comes to making sure that, your property is well maintained and kept. And, we wanted to make sure that we did these things called training days. So every quarter we have a training day that nightlife owners, that means restaurant, bars, even the skating rinks, bowling alleys, the Top Golfs, everybody, restaurant owners. If you're going to be operating past, 10 o'clock, we need to teach you about how to be safe. What does it mean to manage bartenders if somebody's intoxicated, how to talk them out of that next drink and get them ready to go on about their night, how to make sure that you settle a dispute. Two dudes get into a restaurant or a bar or a club, you put both of them out at the same time. They both going to the trunk and they shooting up your parking lot. So we like, whoa. This is how you manage that.
So you're aware of these things?
I'm aware of these things. I wasn't born on the mayor tree. They didn't just pluck me off the mayor tree. I grew up in these streets and I knew where the 112 was. I used to hang out at Visions and all the above. So I'm like, hey, let me just tell you something. Y'all might have patted everybody down going in, but they car still full of something. This is Atlanta. So why not send the aggressor out, put him out, let him get 30 minutes up the road. You send the other one, you put him in the office, the management room, let him calm down, give him some food, give him some, just talk to him. And then when that joker 30 minutes down the road, you're going to let the other joker out and ain't nobody going to shoot up the parking lot because they done forgot about it by now. They already texting, trying to figure out their next move. Right. And so this is strategic planning on our part. And then the other things about nightlife is how to make better revenue out of the nightlife. What are some of the trends? If you are, trying to elevate your service and elevate your training of your staff and your servers, we have some things to help you there. We also train CPR. We train about the process of getting a liquor license and all that stuff. So you don't have to feel like you're going it alone. We want to have a very vibrant nightlife scene. And so helping our nightlife establishments, somebody just go, rent a building, throw in there a DJ, buy some bottles of liquor, think they know how to run a club. we want to be like, well, there may be some other things you might want to keep your mind on. How
so
to make
you want to support the nightlife business owners.
Yeah, we definitely want to support them.
And so this has been a successful venture.
Yeah,
by most means.
Yeah, and you know, it came on the heels of having to close down one in the beginning. And this club had a vicious murder that occurred inside of it, and it was unfortunate. A young lady lost her life on Mother's Day, and she was a mother. And so we're sitting there saying, how did they let that happen? You know, and we, you know, deconstructed the whole scenario, and we was like, they should have learned these lessons, but we're gonna make sure, you know, nightlife owners understand these lessons. And let me just say this. Most of our operators already were good to go. They already knew what they were doing. They had been long in the game. They understood the rules and regulations. They were hip to how to solve disputes. These newer operators that just happened to, you know, get into the business, they didn't know how to protect the situation, their investments. And so ultimately they were getting sued by the families that were loss of life or the ones that were injured. And so we said, okay, we're going to correct that. And so we haven't had to shut down many operations because everybody is willing to comply with going to training day, learning the skills, and signing off with, hey, we visited you. We know that your fire sprinkler systems work. Because, you know, you look at these other places and other, you know, you see a fire happen or a stampede happen or these kind of things. It's because they did not follow the law and the regulations. So we're going there saying, don't find yourself with a lawsuit that's going to make you bankrupt because a stampede happened or some people, you know, got hurt. Let's get ahead of that so nobody gets hurt. And so the community is supportive of that. You don't have a whole bunch of neighbors being mad at the nightlife saying they too noisy, they park on my curb. It's not.
You know, man. Noise. No, come on, man. You ain't sleepy if you hear too much noise.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it also allows us to push back against new neighbors. This club been here longer than you out here. Your realtor didn't show you your house on a Friday night, it seems.
That's a fair point. I want to touch on a couple of more initiatives that you've had because I feel like they are worth discussing and just they're worth attention. You attacked the homelessness in the city as soon as you took office. I would like to know what made you so passionate about it and what steps did you take to drive this initiative?
Yeah, man, if I could tell you and anybody, homelessness is by far the hardest thing to actually solve for. Because it's non-linear. It's not linear. Like to solve for, you know, building an affordable housing unit, it is you find the dirt, you put the you know right tools in place and you build it. You know the cost, you got a timeline and you can go. Same thing with constructing the bridge or fixing the road. It's very linear. It has a start and a stopping point. With homelessness, it's got mental health challenges. It's got drug or substance abuse challenges. It's got domestic violence. It's got all these things. So when you see one homeless person, you really only seen just one homeless person.
Right.
You can try to group them into categories, but really that dude or that woman is making an individual decision when you go to them and say, I'm trying to help you. They may say, I don't want your help. Or they may say, I only want help if you can get me back to where I'm from. I'm from Savannah. And I got dropped off here because I had to go to Grady to get this thing. And when you come out of Grady ain't got no Uber reverse, right? They ain't got that. You just stuck in Atlanta and somebody come get you. Man. And then you find yourself on the streets of Atlanta 6 or 7 days. I'm gonna show signs of mental challenges. If I gotta sleep outside in 30-degree weather 6 nights in a row, you're gonna see some challenges with my mental and my approach to life from that point on.
Right.
And so it became important to me to try to solve for one of the hardest, most intractable things that you can find, which is a person's mental state and they have no money or no resources and their family is usually saying, you already done burnt this bridge too many times. Right. I let you come back in, you tore up stuff. I let you come back in, you done stole something. I let you come back in, you done burnt down something. You talk to me crazy. I can't deal with you. You got to get out. Now you out, you sleeping in a car. They done took your car. I mean, like I go talk to people under the bridges or on the corners and I say, where you from? Bruh, they be from everywhere. They come to Atlanta from Memphis, they come from New Orleans, they come from Florida, they come to Atlanta because everybody wants to come to this land of opportunity. But they come here from Douglasville, from Cherokee County, from Hall County. So this little spot of dirt called Atlanta gets the whole metro region's problems. Anybody that's, you're worn, weary, and tired, they come to Atlanta, and I keep building housing for the unhoused and keep providing services. It's expensive. And you're hoping that once you put them in that unit, that you can then begin to triage their situation, help them get the resources that they need, the wraparound services, the mental health, the addiction support, the job skills. But just because they sleep there at night, they may walk back to where their buddies are over there in the woods to hang out, because the woods is fun. It's cheap. They kick it during the day. They and
the woods is fun.
Yeah, they go in there and they hang out.
Put that on a t-shirt. The woods is fun.
And then they also have survivor's remorse. Like, dang man, I got an apartment, but my brothers, they ain't got one. So I'm gonna come out there and hang with them. We're gonna pass around the bottle. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna figure out some things to it. So when you meet one homeless person, you only just met one homeless person. So you have to treat thousands of people as individuals and case manage every last one of them with outreach and services, and ask them, what would make your life better? And sometimes they say, I just want to go back to Memphis, or I just want to go back to, New Orleans, or I just need a fresh start. I do hair. I used to be good at a chef, but I got on dope, or, whatever it is. I'm running from that dude, and I can't go back to that community because, he was violent to me. He hurt me and my children. I mean, I hear it all. And I'm like, let's try to solve for that. And it's biblical to be able to do so. So it means a lot to me to be in service as God has asked us to do.
Man, I've heard a staggering number, though. I don't know if that number has changed or if you can repeat it, but it was a staggering number of how many people you've taken off the street and put in homes. What was the number?
Oh, man, we had about 2,500 people that had nothing. They were sleeping on the streets of Atlanta. And they are now in either apartments, or they're back home, or some other version of support. We help them get, from
2,500 people
in 4 years.
In 4 years, you've gotten off the streets and in homes.
Yeah, in homes or apartments or hotels, extended
but off
stay.
The street though.
Off the street, yeah. So this.
Now, have you ever gotten anybody off the street that ended up back on the street?
Oh yeah. I ran into a woman. I was on the street. We were going out trying to help homeless, and I was like, all right. And I'm just talking to people, what you need, and I passed them off to one of my team members, like, she need this, he need that. And one woman came up to me and she was like, you out here for real? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I was taken care of by y'all a couple of years ago, and I had slept outside so long that when y'all got me that house, got me into that, I didn't know how 4 walls were so tight. I started opening the windows, because I needed the noise of the city. And then she was like, it wasn't enough. So I slept in my car. And then eventually I would just be back outside. And I was like, so we were paying for an apartment that you never really used? She said, I go there from time to time, but I wasn't sleeping there. Damn. And she was like, so I'm encouraging you to start helping us with other things. Don't just get us a place. You got to do more. And I'm like, okay, so damn, everything, it ain't never over, is it? Get this building, get this place, build this thing, get you off the street, get you in this thing. And that may work for some, but then there's others that's like, nah, that ain't enough, player. You got to have a case manager.
We in this together.
Check on me every day. Tell me it's going to be all right. What you need. I need to get you a sound machine that sound like outside. I need to call you in the morning and get you ready. I got a case manager, get you back to normalcy, so that then this now you can get, instead of being on the street, because you showing up in my account multiple times. You in and you out. This is very real. That's why I'm glad we're spending time on this, because people are like, man, y'all ain't doing nothing about the homeless. Most people say, we see what you're doing about the homeless. But every now and then somebody be like, man, y'all ain't doing nothing. I'm like, all right, you go help somebody and carry them fully through their life cycle. Because you took them 2 sandwiches over the weekend. You think you outperforming government and everybody else. No, give them a sandwich for 6 months straight. Give them a real balanced meal. And when you gave them a sandwich, you didn't give them a place to wash their hands. So you you literally don't. They got disease and they got bacteria and everything else. Ain't no way to wash your hands. And then after they eliminate in whatever way, there's no way to wash your hands. There's no way to shower. There's no way to change those clothes. There's no laundry out there. So literally, you have provided a minute amount of support, and I'm thankful that you did. It's always good to be, do what your heart says to do, but don't drive here from Alpharetta in your wealthy church van and come down to Atlanta with a bologna sandwich and a hot dog and be like taking selfies with the homeless. That ain't a full solution. What you should do is in that church parking lot, take some of my container homes and build 100 units of housing for the homeless up there, and feed them every day and put a washer dryer in there and give them job skills so that they can help, build out the rest of the community that you so desire. Don't drive down here, take a bunch of selfies with some hot dogs that you gave out and be like, I'm serving the public. And then leave me with the styrofoam to clean up with my Department of Public Works.
Damn.
It's hard to see the whole picture until you sit in this seat.
It really sounds like a tough order, man. Can you tell me what is the most challenging thing that you've had to deal with since you've become mayor? What's the greatest challenge?
Man, it still is this place called Forest Cove. Which is the old Four Seasons in Thomasville.
Okay.
This is Section 8 apartments. First year as mayor, January. It's 34 degrees. These community members been calling me for the last week or so saying, you got to come down here, man. You got to see this. And my team is like, Mayor, these people are saying this problem exists. And I'm like, tell me about it. And I say, all right, Saturday morning, we're going to roll up. Because they're already showing up on the crime stats. They're already showing up on, fire and ambulance visits. And I'm like, okay, let's go see what's going on. This is January. I've been mayor for like 3 weeks. I go down there and these apartments are so dilapidated, so broken. And I'm walking through with the police, with homeless service outreach people, and I'm looking at broken windows. I'm looking at everything just falling apart. And through a broken window is a kid looking at me with big eyes, just looking, waving. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking that's one of the abandoned units. I'm like, nah, they live in there. I'm like, it's 34 degrees. And all the windows are, have broken this, broken that. There's little bullet holes in the side of the doors and all this other kind of stuff. And the unit next to it is what they call the garbage unit. So because they're not paying for their garbage services no more. All your trash that you get out your kitchen, you just throw it in this unit.
What?
And it's next to this unit that this kid is looking at. So the rats that's eating up all this garbage is trying to get into this unit where this kid is that ain't got no damn heat and 34-degree weather, and he just looking at me, he or she.
And someone owns these apartments.
Yes.
And collecting money from Section 8 from the government, but not making it livable for human beings.
Not making it livable. It was the type of evil that doesn't show up with a pistol. It just shows up with
ill intent.
Yeah, ill intent. It was abusive. It was so negligent that it was abusive. It's like you took, not only did you, and so just to get to this point, so I'm walking through and I'm looking at all these problems. Rats, mold, mildew, and people are coming out like, man, I'm so glad you're here. These women are coming out in hair rollers and house robes like, let me show you this picture. This is the rat that was the rat was size of a possum.
Damn.
Like the size of a chihuahua. They showing me pictures of, this is what, I ain't got no heat, I ain't got no this, I ain't got no that. My electricity, I'm pulling electricity for my stove from the neighbors. We plugging and plugging. My refrigerator don't work, And I'm like, how long has it been like this? A year, 2 years? And I'm like, okay.
As a mayor, what do you do?
And I got back in that truck and I cried. And I was like, okay. And I just got on the phone and we started calling people. And I was like, get me that property owner. Dude lived in Missouri. A billionaire.
What?
Has a jet.
What?
Found out this company has dozens of these properties in black communities in Mississippi, in Memphis, in St. Louis, in Atlanta. He bought up all these properties through these private equity deals, and his team is collecting the Section 8 money from the federal government, but not reinvesting it into the deployment of, proper management and operations and cleaning up these properties.
Right.
And so we sued the pants off of them. We had to do a big fight with him. We had the federal government, we had to tell them, stop sending him money because he's not doing it. So I had to drag them down here, go look at this, go look at that, go look at these problems. These people, they crying, they sad, they getting, followed out of there. I got this problem, I got that problem. And we took it was 800 residents. We, to a person, got them to safe, affordable housing, gave them all new furniture. Because I can't take that furniture that's got rat and termite and bed bugs and all that stuff, all your clothes, everything. We filled their refrigerators with all new food.
800 people?
800 people spread out in a city that's tight on affordable housing. And I threatened every landlord. I said, because these people ain't got no credit scores that's worth nothing no more, not really. These people are, they were paying like $200 a month rent, and the government was filling in the rest with $800.
How much could you actually charge for a place like that?
The federal government has a standard, and it is, if it's a 3-bedroom, you're gonna get about $1,200 a month rent, no matter what. So they might only be able to pay $300, but the government was funding the other $900. Right. This dude collecting the $900 or whatever from all these people every single month.
But who they paying the $300 to?
Him or not. So there was a lot of, we ain't paid Mr. Dickens because we mad. And he like, well, that's why I ain't fixed the door. And so it's a lot of it was a whole lot of they should have did, y'all should have helped us. And I was like, the bottom line, sir, is they live in that condition and you live in this condition. You flew to this meeting in the mayor's office on your private plane. And I ain't mad at you for having a private plane. I'm mad at you that now I'm reading your name in the paper in Memphis. I'm reading your name in the paper in Missouri. You don't give a damn. So I'm about to sue you. And everything that I do, so I use city money, put all them people in a safe, affordable place that they picked. I gave them every last one of them. We driving them around. These are the 3 apartments. And them apartments weren't always open for these folks. These apartment people are like, I don't know, man. They don't have no credit history, and they got more people. Whatever. They got a lot of problems in their credit history and their rental history and all this other kind of stuff. And what's their psychological condition gonna be coming into my post at Emily Gables, Oats or
you
whatever.
Put them in the Gables,
whatever.
And the Emily's.
And I literally said to them landlords, I'm going to be mayor for a long time. If you think you will ever need to call me and you don't answer this call right now, don't. For the longest time, I'm going to be mayor. And they were like, we get it. I said, so my ask of you is I need 2 or 3 units out of every last one of y'all's apartments. And I'm going to charge you to do that over the next 2 or 3 months. Find me the rent rolls that opens up for this to happen. But listen, don't call me if you don't give me 3 of these units for these people that I am personally investing my time and the city's money into. And they were like, we get it. And they all did it.
And you got it done.
They got it done.
How'd the lawsuit go?
We still suing them, and we got we got Ben Crump on the case.
Ben Crump just got $700 million for somebody. Ben Crump just got $700 million for somebody.
$700 million.
That might be y'all money, man.
Call Ben Crump. See if we can get.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Another thing that we share is we both are supportive. Big supporters of diversion programs to keep young people out of jail and keep them from going to prison, and developing programs that can, divert prison time for young people. How do we stop or at least mitigate the youth violence problem in Atlanta?
Yeah, man, you know it all too well. We grew up in these communities, and you can get caught up in certain behavior and certain things if you don't feel like you're getting the support from family, friends, and if the environment is just drawing you in. So the first thing is to help you have positive outlets. That is through our, programs in the Atlanta Parks and Recreation. We created these At Promise Centers also, which are community places where if you're truant or if you got suspended from school, don't get suspended from school and just sit at the house. We got you these places where you can do your homework, do your work, because at the house may not be anybody that can help you. It may be another place where you can get into more mischief. So we want you to come to these At Promise Centers. They got coaches and counselors and teachers there. So we do that to get you back.
I put a studio in the At Promise Center over there in the Bluff.
You did, and it's working because they want to be like you. They want to make music, and so that's part of the programming. We got a music studio in there that you helped put together. We got a technology studio in there with all these laptops and computers so they can learn coding. We also got a basketball court that the Hawks helped to put together, and so on and so forth. So, and we have mental health support team because some of these boys are just acting out, and so they need behavioral coaching. And so we're doing all that, but we have a mayor's office of violence reduction now, where we are going to apartment complexes. We're going to anti-retaliation stuff. So your cousin got beat up or shot by somebody. He already done told you, let's go ride on them. We are like, listen, let's show you how that's gonna play out. If you go do this and you go do that, now somebody else gonna get hurt. Somebody else gonna go to jail, and something like this gonna happen. Why don't we organize a way for y'all to cook that beef? I mean, don't let that beef cook. Squash the beef. I'm sorry. So the beef don't cook. That's how we can squash the beef.
We know how to cook it.
Yeah, they know how to cook it. So how we can
barbecue, fricassee, hibachi. We know how to cook it.
So we've been doing anti-retaliation, even at the hospital with Grady Hospital, man. So like you in there with bullet wounds, we know everybody coming to visit you ain't always just trying to heal you. They trying to go solve out in the streets. So we like with the nurses, we're like, hey, can we, get a little moment with some of these guys in the break room or whatever. Hey, man.
You actually, the mayor speaking to them.
We, as a team, we speak to them. And then the mayor's office of violence reduction goes and talks to the guys like, look, let's not make this weekend go the way that it sounds like it's about to go. Let's go ahead on and see if we can resolve this through communication. And all y'all sure y'all know who did this, or y'all, because we really want to make sure that we don't have, a war that's about to happen. And so we go intervene that night, that weekend, and over the weekend. And these are not APD. These are people that are ex-offenders. These are people that are already community involved. And they're like, look, we don't want you to live the same life that I lived before. So we do that same to cure violence and all that stuff. Same principles Chicago is using, same principles Philly and Baltimore. We all got trained the same way.
So the mayors collaborate. Y'all mayors from different cities, y'all collaborate and exchange, tips and
for sure
ways to solve problems.
And you look at it right now, we're down 44% in homicides. 44%. It's almost like
that's a big number.
Like 70 more people are alive this year than they were 3 or 4 years ago because each year, I'm talking about each year getting better and better and better at saving lives. So that's hundreds of people once you add that up that are able to enjoy and live in this city. 30% reduction in shootings. Folks are able to live comfortably now in the city of Atlanta. We ain't had nobody shot at Lennox or Phipps in the last 4 years since I've been mayor. Okay. We haven't had Pond City Market. We had one thing that unfortunately happened at Greenbrier that I was so upset about because we had 3 years of good stuff. So we are reducing the violence, and we are, investing in the youth, investing in the nightlife, investing in making sure that people have positive outlets for them to do. And, domestic violence is down because that was a big part of it. So what we're doing, man, and that's a strategy that all of us mayors are doing. Baltimore is down, Chicago is down, Birmingham is down, we're down. And, black mayors and black cities are helping to make sure that we bring down the violence. And we want to keep it that way. Right. Settling, escalating disputes is a very important factor in that.
We got to keep the violence down. We got to calm it down, man, because violence disturbs. This is what most people don't understand. Violence disturbs money.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We is trying to bring money to the city and violence running the money off.
Right.
Because anybody with some money gonna pay whatever they got to stay away from the violence.
Right.
So and with things like the World Cup coming.
For sure.
What kind of plans do you have for the city? What is your vision for the city during the World Cup? Because we've had the Olympics before.
Yeah.
We've had Super Bowls before.
Right.
But the World Cup is arguably bigger than all of those things.
Oh yeah, the World Cup is going to be huge. It's the largest sporting event in the world. And we got 8 matches that's going to occur in the city of Atlanta. That's the second highest set of matches you can get. And it's coming in 2026 this summer. So 30 years to the date, the city is gonna go from hosting the Olympics to now hosting the World Cup.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right? That's 30 years to date. And what's gonna happen is the world is gonna see Atlanta, sometimes for the first time, but it's gonna make an impression on them. And I don't want the World Cup to happen to Atlanta. I want it to happen with Atlanta.
Okay.
So I want Atlantans to benefit, our small businesses. I want Trap Music Cafe. I want y'all.
Your Trap Music Museum. Line gonna be around the corner.
Yeah, the line gonna be around the corner. I want y'all to have all that you need.
Oh, we will be kicking it.
Yeah.
At the World Cup.
At the World Cup, for sure.
No pun intended.
I want them to see all our cultural places, our museums, our historical places, the King Center. I want them to go to all our restaurants. And we created this thing. I created this thing called Showcase Atlanta. People can learn about it at showcaseatlanta.com. Sign up your small business. Sign up. Say, hey, we are a restaurant. We got seating for 400. We got, our hours are this or that, and we can do kosher. We can do halal. We can do Spanish, or we can do country fried. We can do whatever you want to do, so that we can advertise to these nations that, hey, you coming from a Muslim country and you want halal, then okay, we got it. We cook the pork over here. We don't cook it over there. Whatever it is, we got the rules in place.
You still partake in the pork?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still, us in Adamsville, man. A pig walk by, a pig or a chicken, we're gonna tackle them both.
Hey man, it's been dope. It's been dope having this conversation with you, and I'm happy that so many other people are able to experience you, and your candor outside of just reading headlines about you. Could you please just tell me a time when you can say that you were most proud to be the mayor of Atlanta?
Oh man, it happens every 3 or 4 months. Something just surprises me or makes me real happy. I'm gonna give a few examples. And this is gonna sound odd to use this one first, but when we hit AAA credit rating, when the city of Atlanta now has the highest credit rating you can get, and the highest that we've ever got, we got it last year. We have higher credit than the United States government, which means we can borrow money to do projects to invest better than anybody in the nation. We're a black city, black mayor, black CFO. What they say about us in credit? What they normally say about us in managing money? But when now they like the city of Atlanta is the best qualified to the best investment you can make. I was proudest when they said, when we were the most educated city. That's what Forbes magazine said. That's because Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Emory, all these great colleges are here. We are a place that people want to invest. I was proud when Money magazine said we was the best city in the country to live. I was like, wow, that is amazing. I was proud when Killer Mike swept the Grammys. I was there. So I went to LA
Did you get him out of jail when they right after they gave him the Grammy? They took him right there to and I
made a call or 2 or 5.
That's right. So I told Mike, I don't mind you winning Grammys. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for you about that. But you infringe, my intellectual property, getting locked up at a award show. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Don't get in my lane. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Now you need to back up, player. Hey man.
Yeah, man. But having Outkast win the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I'm talking about my compatriots, man, my homeboys, my peers being on the international stage is so important. So when I went to the Grammys for the very first time and my homeboy swept the Grammys,
that's right.
That's like big for me. I'm like, okay. And then of course when we got chosen to do the World Cup, those were huge moments for me in the city of Atlanta.
Man, I want to say thank you because a lot of politicians they don't see opportunity to work alongside the creatives and the entertainers in the city. They see us more as just, I guess, a nuisance because of, you know, how we choose to spend our time, you know, enjoying ourselves versus how they choose to spend theirs. And you have done the exact opposite. I guess because you come from the culture, it's easier for you to understand both sides.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
And I also, before we wrap up, there's a thing we do here at expediTIously. It's called the word of the day. Word of the day is usually a word that describes the conversation that we're having or the guest of the episode. The word of the day today is luminary.
Ooh.
Luminary, a person who has attained eminence in their field or is an inspiration to others. Andre Dickens, as the mayor of Atlanta, has shown himself to be a luminary figure. And I appreciate you, bro.
I love that, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Love and respect.
All right, luminary.
And man, look, guys, I ain't gonna cap you down. This is probably one of the most genuine, earnest politicians that you'll ever have the pleasure of having a conversation with. So when you see him in the city, pull him to the side, take a selfie. He don't mind. He said it. He don't care. He already showed.
When you see me in the streets, remember you don't know me.
And with that, we bid you adieu. Hey, this has been Expedition.
This is expediTIously. I am Tip T.I. Harris.
Trouble